Castlevania, the story of humanity fighting against Dracula and the forces of darkness throughout the centuries. In parts 1 through 4 of the Castlevania timeline, we explored the origins of Dracula and the complete history of the classic Castlevania series, ending with the final destruction of Dracula's threat to mankind. With the Castlevania story concluded in Dawn of Sorrow, Konami decided to completely reboot the story in 2010 with the release of Castlevania Lords of Shadow, starring a new hero and introducing players to a completely different Castlevania universe, not connected to the classic one in any way. In this presentation, we're going to go through the history of the Lords of Shadow universe and tell the story in an epic fashion. Keep in mind this video will have major story spoilers for the Lords of Shadow saga. Without further ado, welcome to the Castlevania Timeline Part 5, The Lords of Shadow. Let's take a step back in time to an unknown period in human history, a dark time where the fallen angel Satan and his forces plunged the world into darkness and despair. But in humanity's most desperate hour, 3 holy knights rose up and fought back against Satan's forces, tipping the balance and sending Satan back into hiding. With the human race saved from extinction, the 3 knights founded the Brotherhood of Light, an order of warriors who would act as humanity's protectors against the darkness. The Brotherhood of Light recruited the fiercest warriors and fought using standard weapons and magical relics. One Brotherhood warrior called Ronaldo Gandolfi was known to be a genius inventor and alchemist, creating giant weapons of war for the Brotherhood. But one day he lost his daughter to a vampire and went on a journey to find her, disappearing and never being seen by the Brotherhood again. Before leaving, Gandolfi created the Brotherhood's most powerful weapon, a retractable chain whip, rumored to have been made from the nails of crucified victims and wood from the original Holy Cross. And this weapon came to be known as the Vampire Killer. The Brotherhood armed many of its warriors with replicas of the Vampire Killer they called combat crosses, and for years used them against the creatures of the night. The Brotherhood discovered a castle that was the source of much of the evil covering the land. It was owned by a man named Frederick von Frankenstein, who created mechanical monsters performing horrific experiments into artificial life. Eventually, the devil-worshipping Bernard family imprisoned Frankenstein and took over his castle, and regularly summoned demons. There was so much contact with evil spirits that the castle itself became possessed by multiple demons, and became a living creature itself. Many Brotherhood warriors entered the castle and died within its walls, never being able to produce a full map of the castle, because it constantly changed, as if it were in another realm. At one point, the Bernard family summoned a demon known as the Forgotten One, a demon so powerful that they lost control of it and accidentally unleashed it into the world, causing massive destruction. The power of the demon was so intense that it surpassed even Satan. The 3 founders of the Brotherhood of Light confronted the Forgotten One directly, and realizing they were no match for him, looked for a way to send him back to where he came from. The founders drove out the Bernard family and reopened the portal the Forgotten One came from, deep below the castle, then forced him back inside, sealing it closed with a powerful spell. But the seals were tied to their life force. If the 3 founders were to die, the seals would break and the Forgotten One would be unleashed again. And inside the castle, the founders also discovered a magical mirror known as the Mirror of Fate that had the ability to show someone their possible future. The mirror was possessed by a spirit known as the Lost Soul that would guide and manipulate a person into the future that the mirror foretold. The founders took a piece of the mirror with them to the Brotherhood and used it to decide much of their actions. The piece of mirror showed them 3 locations where God's power strongly connected to the earth, and they tracked down an ancient relic known as the God Mask. And using the power of the God Mask and the knowledge of the Mirror of Fate, they traveled to each of the 3 locations and performed a ritual to ascend to the heavens as immortal beings, leaving a piece of the God Mask, now powerless, behind. But unknown to the founders, this ritual left the dark side of their human spirits on Earth, and they took the form of the dark creatures they had fought against in their lifetime. These 3 immortal monsters, the Lords of Shadow, took control of the land and shared power by ruling its 3 regions. The Lord of Shadow, who represented the embodiment of death, became Lord of the Necromancers and settled in the barren wastelands. The beastly Cornell took control of the Lycans and made his home around the villages of the land, ruling over the fearful population. And Carmilla became Lord of the Vampires, taking over Bernard Castle, becoming its master. Inside the castle, she also found the imprisoned Frederick von Frankenstein and tortured him, cutting off each one of his fingers one by one and feeding on him daily until he died. The Lords of Shadow were sadistic monsters who spread their evil throughout the world. The Brotherhood of Light repeatedly tried to destroy them, but no warriors ever returned home alive. The world was once again headed to ruin, and the Brotherhood discovered that somebody had placed a spell severing the connection between Earth and the heavens, trapping the souls of the departed in the physical plane, leaving them unable to move on. Sometime later, the Mirror of Fate piece the Brotherhood of Light had taken revealed a prophecy that a chosen warrior would one day rise to destroy the Lords of Shadow, and that day would soon come. Sometime in the early 11th century, a baby boy was found by the Brotherhood, abandoned and alone. Rumors spread that the baby was the bastard child of a wealthy landowner belonging to the Cronquist family, but no concrete evidence was ever found. The Brotherhood took the boy in and raised him as one of their own, naming him Gabriel. As Gabriel grew older, he chose the last name of Belmont, meaning beautiful mountains, due to his love of mountains, and eventually met a young woman named Marie. Marie spent her days watching warriors of the Brotherhood of Light train, being impressed by their courage in these dark times. Gabriel and Marie spent time together frequently, and eventually fell in love, and in the year 1039 they married. Gabriel grew to be such a skilled warrior in the Brotherhood of Light that they believed him to be the prophesized warrior that would one day destroy the Lords of Shadow, and they gifted him with Gandalfi's vampire killer. A couple of years later, a monster known as the Daemon Lord was wreaking havoc in a faraway land with his forces, and Gabriel was asked by the Brotherhood to lead the hunting party. Knowing he'd be gone for a while, Gabriel said goodbye to his wife and spent one final night with her before leaving. The next day, he left to track down the Daemon Lord with his group, but unknown to Gabriel, he had left his wife pregnant with his child, and she gave birth to a baby boy she named Trevor Belmont. Relying on the Mirror of Fate shard, the Brotherhood foresaw that Gabriel would have some kind of dark future, although the details were unclear. They showed Marie and convinced her to leave the child under their protection, away from his father.
We will come for him at nightfall.
While his child was taken away and Marie in tears at home, Gabriel and his group of warriors tracked down the Daemon Lord and his monsters attacked them. Gabriel was the only man left and had to stand alone against the Daemon King, finding a way to seal the monster.
Is this the best the pathetic Brotherhood of Light can send?
Gabriel would return home victorious, but arrived to tragedy. While he was away, Marie had died. The Brotherhood had found her and blamed her death on the monsters roaming the land. Gabriel was overcome with grief, and from that day forward, he was never the same. The Brotherhood of Light knew the Lords of Shadow were out of control, and the time had come to stop them. The elders of the Brotherhood dreamt of a lake deep in the forest, the Lake of Oblivion, protected by a god no longer worshipped by mankind, called Pan. They dreamt that the lake held a message from the heavens which would help save mankind. Believing the dreams themselves to be messages from the other side, the elders of the Brotherhood of Light put all their faith in Gabriel Belmont and sent him to find Pan and a way to save all of humanity. This leads us to the year 1047 and the events of Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Gabriel set off on his quest to find the Lake of Oblivion and came across a local village that was being attacked by Lycans. Knowing that the villagers may know the whereabouts of Pan, Gabriel readied the vampire killer and defended them from the beast. speaking with a villager, Gabriel learned that Pan was located deep in the forest and continued his search. As he was resting from his long journey, Marie's spirit reached out to her husband, seeing him for the first time since her death. And Gabriel was awakened by the sound of the creatures following his trail. Pan appeared to him disguised as a horse and offered his help to escape the area.
Here you seek the guardian of the lake. I will take you to him, but we must be quick. Climb onto my back. Hurry! Can travel no further. You will find what you seek ahead.
He was forced to travel through a deadly bog full of goblins and other horrific creatures, where many of his fellow Brotherhood knights had met their end before, and finally tracking down the guardian of the Lake of Oblivion, Gabriel asked Pan for his help. And Pan revealed that the lake was a place where the living could communicate with the dead, now trapped on the earth in spirit form. And Pan asked Gabriel what he believed was causing all the problems in the world.
We have been deserted by God. Creatures from the void come to claim the souls of men, to wipe mankind from the face of the earth.
And what of the elders of your order? What do they think?
That God has not abandoned us. They believe that a powerful spell has been unleashed by someone or something. A spell that has isolated our world from the heavens, cutting us off from God, and allowing evil to flourish unchecked.
Pan showed him the path to the lake, and Gabriel encountered the deactivated Titan, which activated once he went near it, a war machine powered by magic and created to defend the people against the threat of the Lords of Shadow. Struggling to take down the enormous golem, Gabriel continued to attack it. About to be crushed by the Titan's massive hands, a mysterious warrior from the Brotherhood of Light named Zobek rescued him.
Give me your dagger, quickly!
Titan out of the way, Gabriel rushed to where the spirits gathered to find his wife, who had been waiting for him.
Marie! Forgive me. I was not there to save you.
There is nothing to forgive, my love. I am so happy to look upon your face again. I feel that the spirits are trying to talk to me. They whisper things to me. It is hard to understand them all. It is so dark. So many people crying. I cannot find them in the blackness. I'm scared. You must help us, Gabriel.
What are they telling you? Who are they?
They are the spirits who founded your order, and that the power of the Lords of Shadow is the key. They talk of a prophecy. I don't understand what they mean. I can feel myself fading. I can hardly see you. Darkness is closing around me.
Marie.
I love you, Gabriel.
Don't go, Marie. I love you too.
After speaking with Marie, it was clear to Gabriel that the key to saving humanity was found in the Lords of Shadow's powers. The warrior that had helped Gabriel introduced himself and told Gabriel about the prophecy that had made the Brotherhood choose him. A pure-hearted warrior would destroy the Lords of Shadow and take their power, using it to cleanse the world of evil and unite the heavens with the world once again. Zobek believed that Gabriel had to destroy the Lords of Shadow, and by doing this, he would be able to bring Marie back to the world of the living.
Don't you see, Gabriel? You can bring her back.
If what you say is true, then we need to work quickly and in secret. The Lords of Shadow must not suspect we're on their trail, and they will turn all of their attention towards us.
And the two men decided to work together to track down the location of the three lords.
Thank you, brother. You have given me renewed hope.
And Gabriel headed towards the land of the Lycans to challenge their leader, Cornell. While searching for Cornell, Gabriel met a young mute girl named Claudia, who was gifted with the ability to communicate with her mind and read thoughts.
How can I hear your voice if...
I'm not moving my lips. I have the gift. I can also read minds.
Who are you?
My name is Claudia, and he is my protector.
She was protected by a Black Knight golem created by her father to protect her from the dark forces that destroyed her home of Agartha. Before the Lycans came, Agartha was a magnificent civilization that used powerful crystals to protect themselves from danger and built the giant titans that were scattered around the land. When Cornell came to the region and took power, Lycans destroyed the city completely, and any survivors fled, leaving the ruined city behind and infested with Lycans. Claudia read Gabriel's mind and saw that he was trying to save the land from the Lords of Shadow, and she demanded that Gabriel accept her help. He reluctantly agreed, and Claudia showed him how he can reach Cornell. But the last remaining stone titan of Agartha was blocking the path, and Gabriel had to find a way to destroy it, with the help of Claudia's Black Knight.
Gabriel, take this!
After defeating the Titan and resting, Pan appeared to Gabriel once again, and told him that he had to take the Black Knight's gauntlet from him. Pan revealed that the gauntlet was some sort of key that Gabriel would soon need, and he refused to take it, knowing he would have to harm them, but it was too late.
No.
horrified Gabriel realized he had plunged a knife into her chest, apparently in his sleep. He had no memory of the event or desire to harm Claudia, but once the Black Knight noticed what had happened, he attacked Gabriel, forcing him to defend himself. Destroying the golem, the gauntlet he was wearing attached itself to his arm, and full of regret, Gabriel headed towards Cornell's location. Finding one of the 3 pieces of the God Mask, the founders of the Brotherhood used to ascend to the heavens, and turned around, coming face to face with Cornell, the Lord of the Lycans. Gabriel fearlessly told Cornell that he was there to fulfill the prophecy, and Cornell revealed a disturbing secret that not even the Brotherhood knew. The Lords of Shadow and the 3 founders of the Brotherhood, now in heaven, were still linked, and what would happen to one would affect the other.
Kill me, and you kill him. Kill us all, and you will kill the Sentry founders of your own order. Perhaps he is willing to sacrifice himself for you. For the greater good. I, however, am not. Call yourself a warrior? Is this the best the Brotherhood can offer?
Amazed at Gabriel's strength, Cornell used the power of the full moon to transform into his ultimate Lycan form.
Survive to see the end of this day! Dismembering you better.
Gabriel had destroyed Cornell, and his powers left him. The Cyclone boots Gabriel had absorbed from Cornell gave him the ability to run faster and reach areas he couldn't have reached before, and he collected the first piece of the God Mask, and Pan appeared in the form of an eagle to help Gabriel reach the land of the vampires. Heading towards the land of the vampires, Gabriel faced many horrors, including a giant ogre, one of the last remaining ones of his kind, and hungry for man-flesh. Malthus, a witch who had plunged to her death but survived, and fed off of crows as they fed off of her, becoming a terrifying monster. Traveling through the land of the vampires, Gabriel found Zobek, having discovered a village where all the inhabitants were slaughtered by the vampires. And the village had contained a powerful relic that could have helped the villagers fight back, but a crazed monk took it and barricaded himself in the church tower to protect himself, leaving all of the innocent people outside to be killed. The few survivors left went into hiding, terrified that the vampire hordes would find them and their families. Gabriel and Zobek made their way through the village and climbed the tower, finding the monk completely out of his mind.
No! Get away from me!
Your people perished while you hid behind the one thing that could have saved them. You don't deserve to call yourself a man of God.
Gabriel.
You cannot take it! You are not worthy.
And Gabriel took the relic for himself, holy water, infused with spiritual energy and the power of the sun, and ran into a boy begging for help. The boy told them that vampires knew Gabriel was on his way, and gathered the villagers to slaughter. To save them, Gabriel had to go face them alone. Knowing it was a trap, he went to challenge the vampires alone, armed with the power to destroy them. The vampire Lieutenant Bronner faced Gabriel, refusing to allow him to reach his master.
Killing you will be even easier than slaughtering prohibitors.
Bronner was no match for Gabriel, and the inhabitants of Weigel village were finally freed, looking upon Gabriel as their savior. One of the villagers knew the secret path into the vampire's castle, the same castle where the Bernard family had summoned the Forgotten One centuries before, where Carmilla, the lord of the vampires, now resided. The villager showed him the way, and Gabriel entered through the sewers, making his way into the castle. Inside the castle, Gabriel met a playful young girl named Laura, who liked putting her victims through twisted games for her own enjoyment. Turned by Carmilla ages ago, the innocent young girl had no choice in becoming a monster, and considered Carmilla her mother. She promised to let Gabriel continue to look for her, only if he played her game. After winning her game, Gabriel descended deeper into Carmilla's castle, facing a demonic butcher that would dismember victims within the castle walls to feed the monsters inside, Frankenstein's mechanical traps and creations, and ran into Laura again, now furious that Gabriel had won her last game.
You're a cheat, and you're going to pay! I told you I was going to win! Nobody beats me! Do you hear? Nobody!
She angrily attacked Gabriel and experienced a slight moment of humanity she was never given the chance to experience in life.
Marie!
Fight it, Gabriel. This is not your time. Not now. Too much relies on you.
I have nothing left. I have done questionable things. I have failed.
I envy you. I envy you both. I don't want to play anymore.
After Laura vanished back into the castle, Gabriel rushed to Carmilla's location, prepared to face the Vampire Queen, and encountered Commander Ulrox, ready to defend his master and avenge the death of Lieutenant Bronner by Gabriel's hands.
My lady will be pleased after I bring her your head. How dare you challenge my lady?
With her only protector now dead, Carmilla stood before Gabriel, attempting to seduce him to join her for all eternity as a vampire.
Your empty promises mean nothing to me.
Your god cannot save you now. You will be one of us eventually. It is inevitable.
just like Cornell, Carmilla was forced to show her true form in order to stand a chance.
The true power of the Dark Lord! Arrogant human! Do you really think that you can defeat me?
Destroying Carmilla, Gabriel claimed her Seraph Shoulders ability, which allowed him to reach heights which were impossible for a normal man, and collected the second piece of the God Mask. Gabriel was only one piece away from freeing the lost souls trapped on Earth and returning his wife to the world of the living beside him. At that moment, Pan appeared, checking on Gabriel's progress, and he expressed his anger towards the Brotherhood, not knowing the reasons behind the creation of the Lords of Shadow.
I now know that the founders of the Order created the Lords of Shadow. They are one and the same. They ascended into heaven as pure spirits, but left behind their dark sides. Why are we paying the price for their arrogance and stupidity? Tell me, what am I fighting for?
Only one Lord of Shadow stood in his way, the Lord of Death and the Necromancers. The land of the Necromancers was a desolate, faraway wasteland, and finding Pan again, he revealed his true form and attacked Gabriel, forcing him into combat.
Why? Why did you make me fight you?
Because this is how it must be. We must all make sacrifices in order to find redemption.
No, I did not want this. I did not ask for this. I am not worthy. I am not of pure heart.
Slowly dying from his wounds, Pan revealed that the path to the Necromancer Lord was locked. The only way to open the passage was to make a sacrifice and spill blood, and Pan allowed Gabriel to end his life in order to open the passageway. Angered by the evil deeds he had been forced to do, Gabriel rushed into the land of the Necromancers, ready to finish his journey and end the Lords of Shadow for good. Reaching his destination, Gabriel encountered a Necromancer he assumed was the final Lord of Shadow.
I have come to end this, sorcerer.
By whose authority? What right do you have to judge me when so much blood has been spilt by your own hands? Look at you. You revel in death. We are one and the same, you and I.
The Necromancer used his powers to summon the carcass of an ancient dragon and unleashed it on Gabriel, but even that couldn't stop the determined warrior. Gabriel destroyed the dragon and found the final piece of the God Mask, uniting all three pieces. Now Gabriel had the power to end the world's suffering and bring back his wife. And at that moment, Zobek appeared and revealed that he was not the person Gabriel had come to know.
Finally, it is time for the truth. Let us remove our masks.
Zobek was Death, the final Lord of Shadow, and the one who had cast the spell to separate the earth from the heavens. He had discovered the counterpart to the God Mask, the Devil Mask, and while wearing it, something dark and terrible inspired him to plan the death of the other Lords of Shadow. Zobek no longer desired to share power with the other two lords, and wanted to have the sole ultimate power, but he needed a warrior determined enough to destroy them. Knowing the prophecies of the Brotherhood of Light, Zobek took advantage of them and chose Gabriel as his puppet to complete this task. But he needed to give Gabriel the motivation to continue the mission. Holding Gabriel down through the gauntlet that he convinced him to get, Zobek revealed the truth behind the worst moment in Gabriel's life.
As you slept, I was able to influence you with this mask. But even I did not foresee the beast that lay within. Yes, Gabriel, now you finally understand. It was you who murdered your wife.
No! You lie! Bastard!
Search your soul, Gabriel. You know it to be true. I was worried she would reveal my charade to you at the lake. But it seems she had a false hope that even a killer such as you could redeem himself and save the world.
He had used the Devil Mask on Gabriel to force him to kill his own wife without his knowledge, and used the same strategy to end the life of Claudia as well, who was an unexpected obstacle in his plans. Gabriel's burning desire to resurrect his wife left him blind to the truth, and after revealing his plans, Zobek no longer needed Gabriel and decided to end his pawn. As Zobek celebrated his victory, the real power behind the Devil Mask and the architect behind Zobek's ideas revealed itself.
Hail, mighty Zobek.
Who's there? Who?
Don't you remember me? I came to you in the void. I granted you knowledge and power. Power that you could never have obtained on your own. Surely you haven't forgotten. In fact, I planted the idea for this whole elaborate ruse into your tiny mind in order to serve my own higher purpose. I no longer need your assistance. The power is now mine.
No!
Fallen angel Satan had returned from hiding since the times of the Brotherhood of Light's founding. Satan had planned to use the completed God Mask to enter heaven and destroy it, along with his creator.
Father, I come for you. Before the end, you will bow down to me!
While Gabriel lay dying, Marie and the other spirits worked together to keep him in the world of the living.
If you take him, we are all lost. Darkness will triumph, and there will never, ever be peace or hope. We will be trapped here forever. Don't you see? We must grant him the power to go back.
Will he free us? Will we see the light that was promised?
I believe in him. His heart is pure. He is our last hope, our only hope.
Standing before the true Angel of Darkness, Gabriel stood restored, as Satan tempted him to pledge loyalty to him. But Satan was the reason Gabriel had experienced such terrible things, and he refused.
Would rather rule in power and might than to offer forgiveness and love. This is why you are cast out, Unholy One.
You dare to challenge me? You will die for your blasphemy. Your soul belongs to me. Surely you can do better than that, Gabriel.
Satan didn't expect a human to give him such a problem, but Gabriel had absorbed the power of the Lords of Shadow and was filled with holy energy from Marie and the spirits that brought him back.
Take your hands off me, murderer. Your soul is damned.
I ask forgiveness and mercy for those that I have wronged. What I did unknowingly. Yet I would change everything if I could.
He isn't listening, Gabriel. Your fate is fixed.
Forgive me. Forgive me. My God.
Gabriel fulfilled his mission, and unleashing his power, sent Satan back to hell, freeing the trapped souls and breaking the spell separating heaven and earth.
My love.
Life? No. I do not want this. Why has my life been given back to me?
It is your fate. You have been given back what was wrongfully taken from you. You freed them all. You saved us all, my Gabriel.
I couldn't save you.
I knew I could not tell you, or despair would have eroded your resolve and everything would have been lost.
I am not worthy of your faith. Your love. I am nothing.
You are a good man, Gabriel. You are as God intended, fallible, yet capable of great things. I loved you then, as I love you now.
Grabbing the God Mask, Gabriel attempted to bring Marie back, and realized the power of the mask was not what it seemed. It only allowed the user to see the dead through God's eyes. Bringing Marie back to the world of the living was impossible.
Cannot come back.
No. No, don't go.
It is my time. The light is calling. I am not afraid.
Please, stay with me.
It's beautiful, Gabriel. So beautiful. It's calling to me. Calling.
I love you, Marie. I love you. Forgive me.
realizing he had been manipulated from the start, and the realization that he would never have his wife at his side again. His victory over the Lords of Shadow was a hollow one, and Gabriel looked over the cliff in despair at the empty shell that his life had become. And as he contemplated his future, Laura, the young vampire from Carmilla's castle, reached out to him.
I need your help. I am afraid. It's not safe for me here anymore. I have no one left to turn to. Gabriel, you must help me.
Gabriel had no idea that by killing the Lords of Shadow, the seals holding back the Forgotten One would break, and the demon would be freed from his prison below the castle.
I know how you're feeling. Alone, betrayed. You get used to it, you know?
That isn't true. Or you would not have spared me that day.
Do you now regret it?
You called me here. Why?
You've destroyed the Lords of Shadow, but in doing so, you have unleashed a greater evil. It's only a matter of time before he breaks free and returns to the world.
I care not for the world or its problems.
Then you are a fool! Tell me, would you have the souls of the innocent on your conscience for eternity?
Then show me what I must do.
With Laura's help, he made his way through the secret passageways of the castle, going deeper and deeper underground. Eventually, Gabriel and Laura found the entrance to the portal leading to the Forgotten One's prison, but there was one major problem. Only the darkest creatures could enter that realm. Humans couldn't travel there, and Laura was nowhere near powerful enough to stand against the mighty demon, who was aware of the Lords of Shadow's deaths, and on his way to the portal. Gabriel had no choice but to give in to his darkness.
You must leave it all behind. You must become a creature like me. I'm sorry, you have no choice.
I know. I never did. What is happening to me?
You must keep drinking from me. Many lifetimes I have lived, many I have killed. All my power will be yours now.
No! Laura, please!
Free me from this miserable existence! I beg you! Free me.
Gabriel was losing his humanity and becoming a vampire, the very thing he had sworn to destroy, and entered the realm of the Forgotten One. He quietly followed the demon, and the Forgotten One was still weak without his full power in this realm, and Gabriel took the opportunity to attack him. Using his newfound strength, Gabriel stood against the demon, and the Forgotten One broke through one of his prison seals and continued making his way to the portal, ignoring the human he saw as no threat. Undeterred, Gabriel continued following him and found him trying to regain his full power and breaking through the physical world. Filled with rage over what he was forced to become to save a world that betrayed him at every turn, Gabriel wanted nothing but the Forgotten One laying in front of him bloodied and broken. final seal finally opened, the Forgotten One waited as his true power was returning to him, and prepared to return to the world. And Gabriel, now a vampire, decided to absorb the demon's power for himself.
Mercy, my liege. Mercy.
Without mercy, Gabriel struck down the Forgotten One, obliterating the demon and permanently bonding with his powers, leaving the broken vampire killer and any shred left of his humanity behind. The once holy warrior vowed that the world would pay for the pain and suffering he had endured, adopting the name Dracula, the Dragon. Closing off the events of Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Join me in the finale of the Castlevania timeline in Part 6, Tragedy of the Belmont Clan, where we explore a world where its once greatest hero plunges it into despair and an old enemy returns.